Facebook Live here with Ball State Sports Link after a 35-25 loss against Akron this weekend. Connor Runyon here with head coach Mike New. Coach, of course, a disappointing loss, but first of all, what positives can you take away from Saturday?
Well, I always feel great about the way our guys play. The effort is always there. They are in it for 4 quarters. Unfortunately for us, we came out on the wrong end, 35-25, but I don't want to take anything away from Akron. You know, they're a good football team. They won their final 5 games last year. They're 5-3 this year, 3-1 in the conference. We knew that it was going to be a great challenge, and yet, you know, the first half, if we could have maintained that script in the second half, man, that would have been awesome, but obviously that got flipped a little bit. You know, our guys will respond. They'll come back. It's a great challenge for us getting ready for Western Michigan. It's a big moment for our program, playing Tuesday night on ESPN2. So we'll get ready to have a great week of practice and look forward to that.
First 3 drives of the game against Akron, you score on all 3 of them offensively. Why were you guys able to have so much success early on?
Well, we did a great job, number one, setting the tone with the running game. Our guys up front have been unbelievable in terms of confidence, playing consistent every single week. James Gilbert, obviously, he's had a great year thus far, but I think it all starts with that for us. We were able to control the line of scrimmage, kind of mix up some, you know, running game-wise, and then complement that with the passing game. But more than anything else, it was just our guys up front controlling the line of scrimmage and getting us off to a great start.
We had Darian Green back this week. We saw you do some creative things with him out of the backfield. Why was it so important to have him back?
Well, they're a great 1-2 punch. You know, they both complement each other very well. James is a powerful guy that's downhill, that gets a lot of yardage, tough yardage, if you will. And Darian's that guy that, you know, you can get him in space. And if you can make the first guy miss, you know, you got a chance for an explosive play. But it was good to have both those guys in the lineup. We've missed Darian the last couple of weeks because, as you know, as the game goes on, you know, you keep getting hit over and over. So James, you know, has had a lot of carries every single week, but yet it's nice to be able to take a few of those off him with Darian back in the lineup.
Then you go into halftime, 17-7 margin in favor of you guys. What changed at halftime?
Well, you know, Akron came out, and you have to give them credit. They executed their first drive. They had 10 plays there, and they made some big conversions there on 3rd down and 4th down. And unfortunately, when our first drive offensively, we had 6 plays. Then we punted, and we played the field position game, and then they put another big drive together. So they controlled the clock. They sustained drives, and they did to us what we did to them in the first half. So you have to give them credit because they made the plays when they presented themselves. And I told our guys after looking at the tape, man, our margin for error is small. When you're playing a game like that, we got to make the plays when they present themselves, and it all comes down to that for us.
The final drive defensively, some tough moments, some tough breaks for you guys with the targeting penalty, and then an apparent fumble that wasn't. The knee was ruled down. How can you use those tough moments late in the game as teaching moments?
Well, you just try to emphasize to your guys, let's not put it in the hands of the officials. Yes, it was, you know, 2 calls right there late in the game that, you know, obviously it hurts, especially the targeting one against Martez. You know, I've been on the phone communicating with the conference and the head of officials so I can give Martez an answer, because I certainly feel like he did not lower his head. He hit him with his shoulder. Yes, it was a bang-bang play, but you know, I hate to think that he's going to have to miss half of the Western Michigan game. And yeah, you just emphasize to your guys, try not to put it in the hands of the officials.
Now a little extra time off before playing a midweek game next Tuesday against Western Michigan. How do you use this extra time off to better your program?
Well, the first 2 days here, Monday, Tuesday, our coaches are on the road recruiting. We have to win the next 2 days. We got to sell our program. We got to get people excited. Our players, a lot of them are commits, and yet we're looking at some other players too in the 2018 group. So we got to win the next 2 days, and we got to be excited about Ball State and where we're at and where we're headed. And then when we get back to the practice field, we got a couple of bonus days here before we really get to work on Western Michigan. Yes, we'll emphasize Western Michigan those 2 days, but yet we're going to look at our young players too in our program and see where their development's at through their hard work in the weight room, through their scout team reps, kind of see where they're at development-wise.
If I were a recruit sitting in my living room right now and you're pitching your program to me, why should I be excited about Ball State football?
Ball State's headed in the right direction, man. We emphasize character, we emphasize work ethic, we emphasize playing the game the right way. We graduate our student athletes so they can go make a difference in the world. But there are no secrets to success. We've got a great family atmosphere here where we're going to stick together through no matter what adversity presents itself. And Ball State's going places here, and we got to believe that through hard work, preparation. There's no shortcuts here to success. If you put the work in, then the results will show.
Now you get national exposure being on ESPN2 on Tuesday against Western Michigan. As far as recruiting is concerned, How important is that for the exposure of the program?
Big moment when our kids that are not living in the state of Indiana, that are living in the South, that are living in some outlier areas, for those guys to have an opportunity to see us play on TV and see the buzz, see the excitement, see our stadium, have a chance to see our facilities, show those off a little bit. That's exciting for our guys, and we're looking forward to that. And this is a great opportunity for us against an 8-0 team. You know, we're looking to have a moment like Penn State did the other night versus Ohio State, where you have a heavy favorite come into your building, into your stadium, and have a chance to knock them off, so that we can create some excitement and some buzz and some energy for our program.
You mentioned you watched that game, number 2 Ohio State falling to Penn State. What can you draw from the game plan that Coach Franklin had for Penn State?
Well,
on
I think the best example is it takes belief, number one, and it takes a total team effort. And maybe it was an unconventional way that they won that football game with 2 block kicks, but for us, it's all about preparing, making sure our guys believe first and foremost that we can win that football game. Prepare that way each and every day. Focus on that. If you get up and you win that particular day, and then you get up and have that same mindset, it'll be amazing what you can accomplish. And our guys just have to simply believe that, buy into it. We'll have a great week here.
Of course, with the top 20 team in the country and an 8-0 record, there aren't many flaws with this team, but where are they vulnerable?
Well, they've done a good job of, number one, winning the turnover battle. When you do that every single week, you give yourself a great chance to win. But they've been very consistent. They've limited their mistakes. We all know this is not a game without errors, but they've done a great job of keeping theirs to a minimum. Coach Fleck's done a great job, as his staff has, recruiting, bringing players into their program that are difference makers. So, you give them credit because they built their program to this point right now where they're at, and the guys that they've recruited have stepped in and done a good job, and they've been consistent week in, week out.
Coach, you've also continued to build this program throughout your first 8 weeks as a head coach. How is this team different than they were week 1 against Georgia State?
Well, I think all of our guys realize more and more each and every week that little things matter. Everything you do matters, and attention to detail, doing things the right way, buying into discipline, buying into structure, that'll get us where we want to go. But we all know we have to stick together here. You got to stay the course. We have to have each other's back during tough times, and we got to stick together. And listen, we're going to play our best football. We're going to go out and make sure that we leave it all on the field, and that's all I can ask from the football team. But we got some big days ahead of us, and we got to concentrate on having a great finish to this season.
Well, Coach, let's hope we can go out and shock the world. Hopefully 10,000 plus out there at Schumann Stadium next Tuesday. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Head coach Mike New, Kyle Schmidt, the punter for Ball State, joins us next here on Facebook Live.
Here at the bed races, going to be an electric day. Everybody's really excited about it. Who's going to win? I don't know. Who's going to fall? I do know a lot of people. It's going to be a big day. We're here with Chris Olm, a.k.a. Olmy, a.k.a. the Olminator.
That's it.
Here are my questions. Do you have a permit to fire that gun?
Yes, but not on me.
If Hillary Clinton is president, will you be allowed to fire the gun?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Are you really a Cubs fan, or did you just become a Cubs fan like most of the Cubs fans?
My first set of clothes that I ever wore was a Cubs jersey as a baby.
Okay.
So
I respect that.
I've been a Cubs fan for my whole life.
You look very weird.
I think I look fantastic.
Why don't you take your glasses off?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I'm here with a doctor. I'm gonna guess Meredith Grey, maybe.
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy. I will be your McDreamy. She said no. All right, well, thank you.
Starting them young. Getting them ready for the bed races young. Little baby. Say, I don't know, 6 months, 4 months. Beautiful little thing. 21 years from now, there'll be a Cardinal. I'm sure of it. He or she will be in the bed races. Great baby. Love that baby. Coach New, would you like to answer to the rumor of you, Dr. King, and Mark Sandy having a bed race team?
I'm in.
You did?
Like a good idea. Wait, is there practice required here? Because I feel like watching some of the techniques here, gotten a little close to the curb. I'm worried about that.
You definitely could use a practice run. You're a tall guy.
We're here to come away with the bed races championship. We don't just want best dressed. We're here to win this whole thing.
I think that if these two can keep their egos in check, that we'll probably have a good shot at this one.
We're going to get an in-race interview here. While they're going, they are flying. All their wheels are loose. What's wrong with the wheel? You want to know what I hate?
What do you hate?
Dorsal fins. They're scary. Like, why do sharks have them?
Well, we have them to weed off the prey, like you.
Okay. What are the chances you end up hopping on one of the beds and riding down?
I'm secretly hoping that happens, but I'm loving watching. The teams are so great, and I love the content.
So you're not ruling it out?
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
Absolutely electric day here at the bed races. A lot of crazy things happened. A lot of wipeouts, which I love. A lot of good racing, though. A lot of solid racing this year. It was a great time. And for my last bed races, it was a memorable one. This has been the Hep Cam. This is Aaron Hep signing off. Have a good day.
At Stoops, we're driven by sunny skies, full hearts, and good clean fun. By life's biggest moments and the every single day. By Friday nights, Sunday mornings, and the 9-to-5 grind. We're driven to protect you and yours and ignite the senses to help you get lost so you may find yourself. You see, it's the smile on your face, the look in your eye, when we realize that what we do today soon becomes your everyday.
Back here on Facebook Live at the Venderley Football Center, Connor Runyon now joined by Kyle Schmidt, fifth-year senior punter. Kyle, thanks for joining us. How's the fifth-year senior season going?
It's good. We're going well. We're having fun. It's been good.
Well, as a senior, obviously you look to the veteran guys for leadership. You with a different role as a punter, not on the field all the time like some of the other guys. But how do you still lead even though you're not on the field?
Right.
All the time?
And it's tough because I'm not. I'm not on the field as much during practice and things like that. I know me and Trob, we try as much as possible to be vocal and get the guys going, but it's tough to tell them guys to get on and work harder when they see us just stand there because we only get a few plays a game. But, yeah, it's a challenge for sure.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, with different positions, you can look at the measurables, the statistics to see how a linebacker, a quarterback has grown since their freshman year. But it may be a little more immeasurable with you. How have you grown since your freshman season?
It's just the confidence level. I know just from my first snap my freshman year, now I go out there and I kind of want to punt. I have a challenge to pin opponents deep and that kind of thing versus I was a little more timid my freshman year. It's a confidence level that's built over the years. How important is camaraderie with your long snapper, Nick Trupp? It's important. We have a really good relationship. He's my roommate, so we get along pretty well.
Mm-hmm. When you were growing up and playing high school football, when did you have the realization that, I can punt at the D1 level?
Pretty early, because in high school I was as it's kind of the same with college. I had the same level of experience in high school as I did. So early in my high school year, I kind of figured that I can do this kind of thing. Kind of ran with it. So
did you ever have any sort of soccer background?
I did, yeah. When I was younger, so I played soccer up until 8th grade. I played football.
Mm-hmm.
So
was there a coach that said, "Hey, maybe you should try"?
Kicking
a football?
It's funny. So the way it turned out, my freshman year of high school, I was just on the freshman team playing football as a receiver. And we had like a tryout for anybody who could do it. And like, okay, let's see who we can do it. We had some linemen in there. And I ended up doing it. And just coach was like, wow, this guy can kick. So later that week, I was starting for the varsity when I was trying out for the freshman team. So it kind of moved pretty quickly.
Have you ever told Coach New, hey, I used to be a receiver, maybe throw me on the field on first down?
No, I am totally out of my league with that one, that's for sure.
So those days are behind you. But
yeah.
As you've seen this program grow, of course, there have been plenty of changes since your first year here.
Mm-hmm.
What's been the biggest difference this season now that this new coaching staff is in here?
I think just our trust with the coaches. I think that he brings in a new energy level that is really good for the team, and he gets it. He was a player here, and he knows what we go through day in day. Going through classes, he did the exact same thing we did. So, but the energy level is really what gets me. He brings fire every day to us, and it just trickles down through the team.
Coach New's quote early on, I think it was after the FAU game, was, "I love Kyle Schmidt, but I hope he plays as little as possible." What's that like to see the team succeed and then know that that means you're playing less?
Yeah, it's definitely a love-hate relationship. I mean, obviously I want to get on the field, but if I don't punt during the game, it's great. That means we're moving the football on offense, so I'm completely fine with that. I tell Riley every day, keep me off the field. I don't want to punt today. So, yeah.
But when you do get the opportunity, you've kind of become a specialist for pinning teams deep, and you've pinned a lot of punts inside the 20 the past 2 seasons. How rewarding is that to know you can switch field position?
Yeah, and that's the greatest satisfaction I get out of it is that, and I really get greedy with it. I don't just want to pin them inside the 10. I want to get them at the 1 or 2 and really try to, force a safety for a defense and that kind of thing. But yeah, I take a lot of pride in it, and my teammates will tell you that I get kind of mad if it's anything but pinned pretty deep. So.
How much do you communicate with those gunners on special teams?
I do a lot, yeah, because it takes a lot of practice. We practice a lot. We rep a lot during practice, that kind of thing. But I'm constantly communicating with them. They're switching, and it's not always the same guy doing it. So I'm making sure they know what they're doing and where we're going with this, that kind of thing. So
with a lot of downtime on the sideline during the game, how do you keep your mind occupied, but then flip the switch and remain focused when you do get your opportunity?
And a lot of other positions, they're kind of they need hype to get going. They need a lot of energy to get going. Well, I try to keep an even keel. Really, just try to watch the game. I try to stay locked in, just watch the game, that kind of thing, to see how it's going. So,
Of course, the special team group, it's kind of a niche group,
right?
And we've talked about Nick Traub's quirks and how you guys keep yourself occupied. But
right.
What do you add to the personality of that group?
We're really close, and obviously Morgan Hagee brings in a different perspective as well. We're all different people, but we're very close, and we know each other pretty well. So, yeah.
What's the most unique part about the group?
That we're unlike any position on the team. I would say that if you looked at us as a group, where they don't see football players. If we're walking down the street, you don't exactly say, "Oh, that guy plays football," because we're not the biggest people. But yeah, we get along pretty well. We're funny. It's a good time.
Since your freshman season, you've diversified your game a little bit. You're now handling some of the kickoff responsibilities too. How have you been able to I guess hone your skills in a different area other than just punting?
Right. Yeah. I like it because I get more plays. I get more involved in the game, that kind of a thing. It's definitely a different skill, but I'm just fortunate that I can do both, and so yeah.
Is it harder?
It is a little bit harder. Yeah, it's a little bit harder. It's hard to transition back and forth, I will say. And I give credit to guys in the NFL like McAfee doing both very well right now. I'm like, how does he do that? Because it's a different swing. It's a different skill for sure. So
they put you into any of the tackling drills yet? Now that you're doing kickoffs?
No. I have been a little bit, but I'm always get a little nervous back there when it starts breaking through for sure. Yeah.
Now you've had, I guess, 9 years of football, being your 5th year here and 4 years in high school of kicking. What's the plan once you're no longer punting?
I was a finance major undergrad. Actually, already graduated. So my plan is to be a financial advisor. So we'll kind of stick with that track if football doesn't work out for me. So
trying to break into the next level too.
I would like to. Yeah, we'll see how we end up this season. I'll be honest with myself. If I don't have a shot, then that's what it is. I'll move on. But yeah, absolutely. If it's a one shot in a lifetime opportunity. So
what's the next step for you to try to make that jump to the NFL?
Continue to train. I obviously work out on a pro day, that kind of thing, just hopefully catch the eye of some scouts, that kind of thing. So,
Well, Kyle, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
We'll see you on Tuesday night with Western Michigan coming to town. 8 o'clock kick on ESPN2. Top 20 opponent Western Michigan coming to town. For Kyle Schmidt, head coach Mike New, Connor Onion saying so long with SportsLink for Facebook Live here at Venderly Football Center.